I'm talking to you guys. Go ahead.
No,
You just said
didn't answer the
tipping
question,
culture.
nigga.
I just. Oh, no, my bad.
Hold on. I'm gonna be Jamie real quick. So, bees. Yes or no?
So basically, the
Spelling or the insect?
I guess it's based around what is the tipping is like what the norm is like 20%, 25% or something like that
In America, yeah.
in America.
Technically,
well, that's
it's 18, but
in
people
America,
round it up
but
because
after looking at it, it looks like that's an American thing.
Yeah.
it's solely American because
Yeah, pretty much.
we don't care about
So
paying our people.
exactly. So the question is basically what do you think about one, tipping culture, and then two, how are you about tipping, or do you think it should be a thing? Do you think it shouldn't be a thing?
Can you please tell a story about when Kyle went to?
Oh, I was gonna
would
actually
so-
tell the
please,
story. Okay,
please.
so
That's
I
my
actually
favorite
think
story.
Of, I actually did. Oh, wait, this may not be the same story. Sorry.
You're on with Maui,
No relation to the trademark whatsoever.
D-Mark,
I don't believe in none of this.
and X.
Which, by the way, Dick Wolf is the best name ever.
And this is when awesome collides.
So as far as tipping, the craziest part about tipping is I think that it actually is necessary to be able to discern how shitty people are. Like not like servers, I mean humans. Because one of the worst things I've ever heard because of the way our country is set up is that when people are like, oh, I don't tip because that's their job. And I'm like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Their job is based upon, you tip based upon their service. Now,
You find out, by the way, in the serving industry that a lot of people who say that are people who do things like work in sales.
right. Well,
It's the most asinine thing when somebody who works in sales says, well, I wouldn't tip you because that's your job. And I'm just like,
but you get paid to
but
sell
you
things.
get paid to sell things. And they're like, but I came here to you. And I'm like, don't people come to you or ask you or you
Right.
have like,
You should have gone outside and said, hey, can I convince you to come and eat something from here? Yeah. Well, like, so like the craziest part about that is somebody says like, now it would be different if I have a conceptual problem with tipping someone who simply takes my order. Like that's probably where my,
Oh, do you do that? Like if you go do like a pickup, like a to go.
I have a really weird problem if there's a tip line on the receipt, I feel compelled to
That's what-
write
no,
a number down
that's
on.
actually
and
why
that's
they
smart.
do it.
I get it.
that's why they started
The
doing
number's
it and they
paltry.
print it out.
So when that happens, like somebody takes my order and that's it. Like I'm like, it's like $1 just because I was gonna. I'll donate $1 to fucking CVS every time I go there. I don't care. It's fine. So I won't give them more than that just because I don't feel like, hey, you press some buttons. I get that that's your job, but you didn't wait on me hand and foot. The server deserves
didn't
that.
provide me any
You didn't
service.
provide me any
Yeah.
service. The problem, yes, it sucks that it's a double-edged sword because when you work commission-based jobs, you say, hey, if I put in X amount of effort, then I'll get this. I know servers who are like, yeah, I wouldn't want to make like a regular hourly rate because if I want to work on a Saturday, make a bunch of money and then take 4 days off, great. Right. And I'm like, that makes sense. But then and I hate to say, like, I hate to be like bootstraps, trick or terms, like, but like when someone's like, well, if they just were better servers, then they'd get tipped more. I'm like, no, people can still be dicks. Then there's to be a dick clause where like a monthly review where like you go back and look at transactions like actually on camera and be like, no, that was 35% service. We're gonna up that tip. We're gonna feed a tip. Like I know they have tip share for that reason and things of that nature. The problem with such a variable thing is that you can't account for. You would be better able to tell me on this respect. Does it even out?
Does what even out?
Like for every person who's like 5%.
Yes, and I try to explain that
yeah.
to people when I started serving. And I don't serve anymore, and I never really wanted to serve. I wanted to get my foot in the door in the restaurant industry for people who are listening that don't know me. And I started serving, and you go in, first off, it's a really toxic culture, and that's another whole nother discussion. But trying to explain to people that have no concept of almost math or anything, it really seems like it's every experience every time is that experience period. So you can have a really shitty night. I would work, 4 nights a week and I would make $500 a week and I would work about 5 hours a day. That's insane. $500 for a part-time job.
Good money.
And only thing you're expected to do is walk up and take somebody. It's not hard, but the problem is I would have people leave me no money. and then I would have people leave me dumb, fat, stupid tips. And then you have, and I was like,
Gotta get them simp tokens, bro.
I'm like, I get it, but guys, if you just did your job the entire night, you're gonna end with 23% tip. And I'm just like, that's an average. We have numbers for a reason, and it evens out. There is, I think tipping culture is bad for the business in the sense that it's good for their payroll, but it doesn't incentivize servers to try to sell more. It incentivizes servers to try to sell the exact right amount to then maximize their tip. Because, like, I try to explain this when I was poor, and I would say, I have $40 to go out to eat tonight. I'm gonna have myself a fucking grade A dinner at Applebee's.
Hold on. That's fair. You're including your whole family. That's fine. I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
You said I'm poor. I only got $40 to spend on a meal. I'm like, whoa,
Damn.
Yeah.
bud, what the fuck
Then
going
you go to
on?
Fogo de Chao. Be like, let's go.
No. But for my whole family, we'd be
Right,
like,
that's
we're going to the Olive Garden or some shit. And, you got $40, $50, and we're like, this is all that I have. So in my mind, I would always try to figure out, well, how much can I spend to still at least leave a 20% tip? Now, the problem is if you have a good server who recommends something and it sounds good or does whatever, and you spend over that,
Punishes them for their efforts.
they sold more, which is good for the business, but then they don't get as much of a tip because somebody already budgeted in how much, which is why I believe if you go out to eat, either know what you're getting, but if you don't have enough to tip 20%, honestly, then
You don't think that's a problem? Like, I think that creates a really weird dynamic.
I think it
where you're
does
like,
create
I
a
would
really
love
weird.
to eat, but nigga,
But
can't
you don't
be
have
nice.
to.
Like,
No,
if
but you don't have to go to a sit-down restaurant. You know what I mean?
No, hold on. But see,
Here's the other
hold
thing,
on, think
though.
about that real quick. Slow
Most
down.
patrons. No, I get.
Right. You're saying, hey, if you're too poor to do this right, go somewhere where poor people eat.
I'm not driving a Lamborghini.
Right, but I'm saying like it's that you don't think it's a weird concept where like instead of now they get no money because the
because
customer
we live in
doesn't
a
show
very
up.
classist country
Right,
that
but
wants to keep people down.
But the customer doesn't even go to the restaurant at that point.
Right, which is why I think in the long run, if we adopted the same restaurant culture as every, so when I get tattoos, they're expensive as fuck. I am not required to leave a tip. Tipping is
Tattoos. Hold on, sorry. Tattoos for the we have two people here who when your skin they stab your skin with needles and it leaves permanent ink and pictures
Are you
on your
explaining
body.
to people what tattoos are?
Well, to Jamie and
Oh.
Maui might not know what they are.
They might not. You're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Having
Little
zero.
stabby pictures in your skin, boy.
Yeah, but
Stabby pig.
getting a tattoo, they set the price. They tell you hourly how much it's going to cost. All of this, but it's 20% or 15% or whatever just to tip. You don't
But
have
that's just
to.
labor. You don't tip your
hold
auto
on.
worker.
Hold on, you don't have to tip them because they're the ones
Set the
that
price.
sold you a price and
Yeah.
did all that kind of stuff. But people are like, hey, you did a good job. I had a good time with you. I'm vibing with you. Let me leave you money. Restaurants everywhere else, that's the same shit. Somebody's like, hey, you went above and beyond. Here's an extra $10. But in America, business owners, one, don't want to pay because they can pay $2.13 an hour. Two, they want the excuse is always, well, if I had to pass on the cost of food to my patrons so that I could afford to pay people the hourly rate, then I would have less business. And I think at first that's true, but I would rather, if you know what something costs, you just go, you know what I mean? Like, you know what something costs, you're going to go in there. But then I hate going places where the server seems desperate. Like, they're just like, hey, man, today's just been a really, like, they're giving me a sob story. And I'm like, I don't want to tip you now. It's like the bum.
That's
Hold
me.
on.
Oh, that's exactly me. If you start giving me like a sob story.
If you give me a sob story, I want you to come to my table. I want you to treat me like you would treat anybody else. I don't need
Right.
the smiles and the jokes and the anything else. Now, if something just happened and you're just so personable and I had a really good experience, yeah, I'm going to tip you more. I don't
Right.
not tip ever.
yeah, same.
I don't leave less than 20% unless I'm drunk.
You hold on. You've never not tipped?
No,
I've
I've
never-
never not tipped. No.
Right, two
so
times, I guess.
the only time
I have one time that I didn't not tip.
because I feel like it stings more for them to get a 5% tip. Like if if I eat something for $20 and that person was dog shit, and I'm not talking about the food came out late.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about things that they couldn't have controlled. But if like I give them an order and then 45 minutes later, I realize I this has happened before. We've been out.
You're
at a
like, did
bar.
you even put my order
Right,
in?
we've been out at a bar. We ordered a round of shots to start the night. An hour and a half later, the chick finally came back and was like, oh crap, you guys ordered shots, and I was like, oh okay, I'm gonna give you $1. And I'm like, but I'm like, hey, but you have time to make it. I didn't say this out loud, obviously, but I'm like, that's fine. It happens. It's a busy night. Benefit of the doubt. It is crazy that we were here for an hour and a half, but you know what? The rest, she could kill it for the rest of the night and get that back. But no, again, got our first round of shots. 45 minutes later, the food came out. She came back at the end to get a tip, and then asked all of us why we didn't tip her well. I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
The audacity.
Yeah.
No, bro. It's shameless.
yeah.
They'll straight up be like, did I do something wrong? You're like,
Yes.
yes, you did.
Yes.
You brought me the
Right.
wrong. The only time I didn't tip, I was at Texas Roadhouse, and my body is physical perfection. Everybody knows that. So obviously,
Yes.
I ordered a country fried steak
Yes.
with a
And a whole
loaded.
bloomin' onion.
Oh, I can't.
I know
tell.
that's Outback. But
And then a loaded fucking sweet potato, and
how drunk was it?
bro, it was sauced.
Nice.
Helly sauced.
Nice.
And then I think I also got some French fries because I didn't want no vegetables on my plate because I didn't want to ruin the temple that is my body.
But
Makes sense.
but potato.
Nope, they're roots. They're tubers.
There's tubers.
There's no vegetal health benefits to a potato. It's a carb.
Vegetal.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Is that just a different way to say vegetable?
Question. Don't question the
Oh, got
fucking.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
okay, I just want to make sure nobody's going to interrupt me. I cut
Well-
I cut into my chicken fried steak. And
It sounds like the.
Damn.
Oh. What, boyo?
I think he
I
lost
ruined the fight for myself.
Oh,
I
you looked.
got the. I got the
Dang.
fucking
Oh, notification. That's a bummer.
Well, this is
Don't
my
ruin it
work
for me.
phone. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you,
No.
but god damn it.
cut into my chicken fried steak, and
look so
all this
disappointed
grease
over
comes
there.
out. All this grease comes out, like a shitload. And I've had this plenty of times before. I know how much grease should come out of it. All this grease comes out, starts soaking into everything on my plate. And I looked at the waitress came back over, and she's like, "Everything okay? Is everything okay?" And I went, "Yeah, no. Can I just swap this out?" I'm like, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if they used too much oil or something. I'm like, but I literally can't eat this. Like, it's too much. She starts giving me, like, she looks at me and she goes, "You better not tip me now. This wasn't my fucking fault." Like, that's what she said at Texas Roadhouse. And I was like, I'm not saying it was your fault. You asked if it was okay. I'm gonna pay for my food. No, it's okay. Like, I get it. Like, stressed out, benefit of the doubt, like you said. I'm like, no, it's just too much grease. I just want to send it back. So it comes back. She stands there, cocks her hip to the side, puts her hand on her hip, and then gives me that fucking like weird neck thing that people do, and then they stare at you. And she's like, "You want to cut into it? You gonna tell me I have to take it back again?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I just cut into it, and it was fine. I go, "Yeah, this is fine." And she goes, "Better be fine." And then she walked off, and I was like,
boy, I would have actually robbed her. just to
and I don't ever ask for a manager at places
Yeah.
anywhere, and I didn't ask for the manager, but the manager walked by, and they're like, "Hey, howdy, y'all, how's your night going?" And I was like, "I'm just letting you know, hey, or I'm not trying to get nothing here." I'm like, you got to get me a different server. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, she's been rude to me all night because the kitchen made a mistake, or not even really a mistake. My food wasn't cooked the right way. And he's like, yeah, we'll take care of your meal. And I said, seriously, I don't want you to take care of my meal. I'm like, please don't take care of my meal. I'm just telling you, I don't want to interact with her anymore. So we had a guy come over, and he was super good. And we ended up giving him a tip. And the lady comes over to me, and she's like, "You asked for somebody else, and then you gave him my tip?" And I'm just like, if you'd stayed my server, you definitely weren't getting a tip. You're the only person I haven't tipped.
So you technically did tip because the meal did not finish with that person. So
That's fair, but I actively got rid of the server, which she lost out on her. She didn't get another table.
Right.
She lost out, and she would have gotten no tip. Like, I wouldn't if they didn't have somebody else to switch to. I mean, that is the epitome to me of like bad service.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't leave less than 20%. I think it's a fucked up culture. I think if you talk to the people in the service industry, they want to do it because, like you said, the benefits outweigh it. But then they forget that they don't really get taxed on stuff, and then they evade taxes, and then they get pissed.
whoa. No one evades taxes.
His taxes is
America.
theft.
Taxes are theft. You can't evade someone trying to rob you.
That's wrong. You can't actually.
well, that's true.
You can't evade.
Called tax evasion.
Yeah, it's called tax evasion.
They just told you it's a
Sorry.
crime.
Yeah.
Sorry, theft evasion.
If you want to be here, even though we're stealing from you, if you don't let us steal from you, we'll throw you in jail. And you know what we said?
Sure,
Okay.
sure, bud.
You know, I think that's fair. They present it.
Hey, bro. Hey, we gonna send you. You can pay us for this tea. No, nigga, we gonna start a whole country. Hey, bro, pay me for these roads. Wait a minute.
Hey, when you work, I'm going to take some of that money. When you buy stuff, you're going to pay extra money for the thing that you bought so I can have a piece of that. Also, then that money that you paid to those people, I'm going to take more of it when they try to give it to them because that's how it works. And then I'm going to take even more of it when that person spends the money that you gave them that I took from. And now you, it's wild to me
It's
that
excellent.
the American people get like 8 cents of their dollar and the government just somehow gets the rest of it. And then everybody was like,
That's how you get you, man. Like,
well, we're free. We can't travel anymore.
The terms of service.
You know,
it's why hey, nobody reads the terms of service when they update
they
things.
don't.
That's the same thing. When you're born, like when you get there, when you get to the egg, God's like, hey, bro, when you get out there,
You about
everything's gonna be
to
loud.
come out of these this nice American lady. Do you accept? And you just be like, yeah, America, land of the free.
They
And
got
then
guns and barbecue. Hell
and then
yeah.
you're like, hell yeah, I want all that. And then all of a sudden you're just like, I don't want communism or socialism, but I think I'd rather be in the UK right now.
Need a little bit more of that check. How you feel about that?
I think it'd be really cool if the American, like, as a government, they're like, listen, if you don't pay taxes, it's fine. You have to like leave like in 30 days. And they'd be like, okay.
They should just raise the cost of goods so I can choose that.
VAT tax. I say this all the time. It's the most libertarian thing I say every day. They should don't punish my income. Punish me for participating in society. So like,
That's
if I want to
cost of good tax goes up.
right?
Give
So,
me all my money.
Yeah. Give me all
If
my
I want to
money.
hoard it like a fucking Smaug, then
Yeah.
I get a hoard it.
And
But
if I want to buy a car, like if I want to buy food, that's
Don't
not a
tax it.
necessity.
yeah,
Like if I want to go to a restaurant, sure, I'll pay 30% tax. I know it sounds stupid, but it's fine. Just give me my entire check. Let me decide that.
That's good. I was gonna say it'd be cool if like they're like, hey, listen, you don't have to pay taxes, but like you have the option of like being here, pay taxes, or you get to leave.
Yeah,
and
but
we'll.
what you think about tips?
That I'm sorry. Yeah. Tip like I'm full tips. I hate like when I go do like takeout and there's like a tip. I'm like, God damn it! Like I don't feel like
I
you've
don't
done
tip
anything.
on. I don't tip on
I don't.
that.
But like if I go to a place a lot, then like every once in a
Yeah,
while,
you're
I'll
but you're
drop.
supporting
If it's mom
the
and pop,
staff
I'm
that
right.
you
If it's
know.
mom and pop, I'm in.
Oh,
Right.
mom and pop,
Yeah, if
yes.
it's mom
But
and pop, always.
if
Yeah,
I
yeah.
call up, the OG and I'm like, hit me with that Zupa Toscana, and they hand me a bag, I'm gonna be like, and they're like, what are you tipping me? I'm like, fucking nothing.
Nah,
Yeah.
Like
Chef Boyardee is
like
going to.
you got a big pot in the back that somebody else made, not you. They don't get the tip. If you want to take my tip to the guy that made the soup,
Yes, then let me.
Yeah.
then I'll tip the guy that made the soup.
Right.
But if I'm gonna pay the hostess here for looking down and going, what's your name?
Right.
What'd you say your name was again? Bitch, what's your name is? And you're like, I'm the only guy here. Get the soup.
Right.
And I'm not paying them.
I don't subscribe to that. I'll always tip 20%. If I've had a bad service, I may tip like 10%, but I'll still always tip. The interesting part is when you get like outstanding service, I don't know what to do. I'm like, how? Especially if they've gone above and beyond, I don't know how much to give you.
So I have this weird thing where
Actually, tell the manager.
I've done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
done
gonna say if you're actually curious, if you don't have the extra money to give them,
Oh no
if
no
you
no
tip-
no!
No,
think
I
what
have
he's
money.
saying is like right.
Yeah.
So he runs the same problem I have. Like when the service is stellar,
Yeah.
I'm like in my brain I'm like, okay, so
How do I-
$30 bill? I would normally tip like
$100
$5.
bill. $100
Yeah, I
bill.
guess let me just go cash my 401k out because like there's no like the little paper says 25%, or like 8, 13, 15, 18. I'm
it's
like
18, 20, and 25
Oh,
now,
right,
so
yeah, my
nobody
bad.
can
Right, right.
accidentally tip
my
less.
bad, my bad. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, hold on, custom tip. There's too much pressure because this dude definitely deserves more than 20%.
Right.
But if I hit the button, like if he sees me hit the button, he gonna be like, ooh, what's going on? like, but if I give him like an extra like it's 26, he'd be like, nigga, why'd you even do that? Just give me the 25. But I'm not gonna get this nigga 50. I ain't gonna give this nigga $20 on my $40 bill.
Right.
But maybe I will. Like,
No,
I don't
I think
know.
it totally.
So the first time. Sorry, I don't mean.
No,
No,
go ahead,
we
bro.
cut-
I'll try.
we
I'm
cut
ready. I
you
cut
off.
you off.
No, that's all good.
I'm getting hyped to your
the
beat.
first
I
time
ain't
I
talking
went,
this whole podcast.
the first time I went to my favorite restaurant, Iozo's Garden of Italy. If you guys have not visited that place, if you guys like Italian food, please go there. I can't tell people enough about it.
You said
But,
the Garden of Italy?
It's what it's called. Iozo's Garden of Italy.
Oh.
Italy. Fuck, I can't fucking talk. It's late. Anyways, so I went there for the first time, had a great time. The server's like, hey, you ever been here before? I was like, no, I haven't. Right? He's like, oh, let me tell you about the restaurant. And he told me about his family. So it's a family-owned restaurant.
Damn.
And he was saying, like, yeah, that's my granddad right there. That's his dad right
Did
there.
he let you pipe the granddaughter?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
That's not Italian culture. That's Jersey Shore culture.
Yeah. But he was like, hey, look, this, it's our history and blah, blah, blah. And like, and I was just like, all right. So he gave me the menu and he's like, you ever been here? I'm like, no, I haven't been here before. All right. Well, this is my recommendations. And not only would I recommend this, but also get this. It really enhances this, whatever. And like the entire time he's taking care of me, super nice. I met the rest of the family too, super weird. So I had a fantastic time. My bill was like $100. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, this dude has really gone above and beyond. Like I've never been here. He treated me like I feel like a first. Like if you're ever a first time at a restaurant, that's how everyone should be treated. Like, hey, look, you don't know anything about it? That's fine. I'm gonna baby you the entire thing. I'm gonna tell you whatever. If you seem susceptible to it, right? If you're like, I don't want you to talk to me, like obviously you don't need to do that, right? But I was like, I don't know what to do. So I was like, all right. So I have a $100 bill, $100 bill. And I was like, what do I do? And I'm like, I can't tip him 20%. Can't do it. Even I'm like 40%. It's still not enough. And I was like, what am I really gonna tip? Like, what am I gonna match the bill? I really didn't know what to do. I ended up getting $60. Yeah,
you did it though.
I've
bro.
done it.
No.
I've done it a couple
I felt bad
times.
about it. I felt this guy. I'm telling you, this guy. If we ever go, I'm gonna be like, we need to talk to this. Like, you'll be like, this nigga killing it. And then he ends up being like, obviously he was the son of the blah blah blah. Obviously, him and his fucking sister run the place. But then I went another time and I had this dude that was not nearly as nice. Like he was just doing like the bare minimum shit, and I was like, I'm kind of let down. I'm just not like I assumed that was gonna be like another regular
They gave
person.
You a 10 from the jump.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, not only that, but like the guy that
Didn't we just talk about that today?
No, we talked about you not giving a 10.
No,
from
I'm
the
sorry.
jump?
And I went back a third time. The same guy was my service. The same exact service.
Oh.
Dude, no. And I saw him give the same service to everyone else. That dude was stellar. 100%. 100% stellar. And I don't feel every time I go and I get him, like I'm like his little pay piggy. I'm like, I don't know how much to give you, sir. How much do you need, sir? What do you recommend me? Anytime he recommends me anything, I get it because he's never missed. Like just phenomenal.
Yeah,
service.
and that's but you're going for an experience at that point. You're not just going for the food.
Well, no,
So-
the food is fantastic. I go there for the food,
But
the fact that he went.
But
out
when
of
you
this
get
world,
him, you get a guy who's giving you recommendations.
guy,
You know
yeah,
that.
right?
Here's what actually in this situation, no, because he's like the owner's kid or whatever. But if you get really stellar service and you don't know what to do, just fucking be like, well, how long have I been here? An hour? How much do I think this person deserves to get paid for an hour's worth of work? And then if you're like, that was really killer work, I want to give him $40, unless your bill's like a $700 tab or something. A 20 spot, bro. A 20 hits so fucking good on any check, $50 and under. If your check's 50, $60 and somebody gives you 20, you living. You feel great. Also, just tell their fucking boss. So then that way, if they aren't tenured, they can get better shifts and they can get better sections. And then that ultimately makes them more money. And then just request them when you go back in.
No, and not to keep on talking about this place, but
No, bro. Hey,
I'm
you
sorry.
advertise.
I'm
for
sorry.
it.
I'm
You-
sorry,
hey,
bro.
simp for him.
So
Let's
Do
that
they
same-
ask me? But do they ask you to say when?
sorry, what? Oh, I think they did, but not even to that. To even like to add to the experience, the first time I'm there, not only do I meet his sister, right? Like, so obviously I was like, hey, I want to talk to me. Like, yeah, it's my sister. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, yeah, it's my sister, my boss, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like the entire rest of the family was also having dinner there. And then they're like, hey, it's your first time here? Fuck, you're going to love this place, blah, blah, blah. And like, we went outside, we were drinking, and he was smoking. I wasn't. But we were talking about business, whatever. And so I meet the entire family the first night, and they're like, hey, here's a fucking like free app like thing. He just wrote on a fucking on a business card. He's like, free app. He signed it in the date. And I was like, cool. Like, that's fine, And again, it's all the first time. And the third time that I went with my entire family for Mother's Day. And I remember I racked up remember this guy was there, so I racked up a $300 tab for everyone, and literally everyone at the table like, I don't know how much to. What's good service when everyone at the table was like, I do not know how much to tip. They were all like, I don't know how much to tip this guy. I'm like, I know. That was my problem the first time I was here. Fantastic. Just have you guys had experiences like that?
So I'm the exact opposite. The best service I ever got was I walked in, sat down. The guy went, here's the menu. He said, do you need anything? I was like, no. He said, cool. I'll only bother you when you want me to bother.
I do actually
I
love
said-
places
Oh,
like
I love that too.
I literally started coming everywhere. My pit that leaked out of my pants, and he said, "I get it, bro. The towel's already on the ground." I'm like, oh my god, he already knew. Like, and then at the end, he came up, got the bill, told me a joke, and that was it. And I was like, oh my god. He
You
didn't
remember
do the
that
fake
place-
thing where he was talking to me. He didn't try to get to know me. Nothing's worse than I'm wearing headphones. I wear headphones most of the time, earbuds, to let people know I'm unapproachable. You know, and like he saw the headphones on. He said, "Cool." Slid me the menu. Said, "Hey, I got you, bro." And then I leaked all over the floor, passed out, woke up, had my meal, and I left. Gave him 100% tip.
You love it.
I love it.
See
It was incredible, bro.
Mhm.
I got in there. I don't like to be at a restaurant for more than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it really bothers me. Like when
Even if you're like out like for a dinner,
absolutely
like a
hate
nice
it.
dinner.
Absolutely hate it. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone tricks me into going somewhere with them and it's just us.
Got
Like the biggest trickery.
Oh,
is
you're
when
saying it was
somebody's
just
like-
you and one other person?
Yes, the biggest trick anyone could pull is to say the team is coming out, and then I come out and
Tyler?
it's just me and it's
Outside, not X.
it's just me and the person. Because when I go to restaurants, sorry,
Yeah.
it's weird. I have the same problem with shopping. I don't go shopping. I don't like go grocery shopping with people because I like to walk in,
Get your shit
grab
out.
the exact thing, leave. Any sort of window shopping, that's why I have a big problem with. I have to drive places. I can't have someone drive me somewhere because people are very casual with your time.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Hey, you want to go and do this thing?" Sure. If I'm in a group, cool. I can turn off. I can like stop functioning, go on autopilot, recharge, come back in. When someone tricks me into going out with them, I'm on their time, and they're very casual with my time.
Yeah.
But like me, when I go to restaurants, I go in there, I'm there for 15 minutes, maybe, and I get the fuck out. The only time I'm not is if
How's
I
that-
bring an item. If I bring something to, like,
Are you
if I-
saying once you get your food and everything is 15 minutes?
yes? When I get in there, I eat immediately, pay, leave. I can't stand dilly dallying in any.
Well,
respect.
no, I was just asking. 'cause
Yeah. Right.
How
I'm
they
not saying
cook it.
like right.
How they cooking your food?
I also get things that can be eaten very.
Yeah.
I know every item I want to get at every place I go to maximize the amount of time. I don't like to. I like to get in, get my food, get the fuck out. The only time is if I bring out like a laptop or something. That means I'm there to buy.
and you're just chilling.
and I'm chilling.
Yeah.
But
What if,
you know,
what if you're there to meet somebody then? Like if let's
never
say
been,
like
never, almost never. Again,
No, he's saying it'd have to be a group function, and he
Correct.
somehow
again,
showed up before
Right.
everyone else.
again. I make it a point. The only reason why I'm late to things is because I don't like to be stuck with. It could be me and you, best friends. Do not care if you're like, "Hey, you
I
want to
don't
go
be
do
stuck waiting. I understand. I'm the same
right,
way.
right. You're like, "Hey, you want to go do this thing?" I'm like, "What time are you gonna be there?" At 3. I'm like, "Cool. I'll show up at 3:45."
Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm not the first one there. I want to walk in. I want you irritated,
thing,
so
yeah.
we can cool, vibe, have a good time. We laugh. I get the fuck out and I go back home. But just because I just nothing's weirder than showing up to like, "Hey, you want to go do this thing?" I remember a couple weeks ago with this, we were playing disc golf, right? I get there first so I can chill, vibe, enjoy my time, get my social battery ready. 2 people I don't know came up and started talking to me. And I literally started freaking the fuck out. I was like, I'm wearing headphones. What are you guys doing? And like, "Hey, we're here to meet our buddy Tim." And I'm like, what's going on here? And then Tim was like, "Oh yeah, some extra people coming." And almost shut down. That's how bad I am.
I do remember seeing the
It
text.
was
I was
wor-
like,
it
"You
was
got to give
the
me a
worst,
heads up,
dude.
bro."
It's the worst. I have the same exact thing with restaurants. When my favorite servers are dude. When I walk in, they say no words to me. You know how they have the headphone parties?
Yeah.
You know how dope it would be to walk into a restaurant with the headphones and
No,
the dude, the
remember
waiter
the,
is just sitting over in the corner and he's like, "Hey, do you need any food?" And I'll give him a thumbs up and then he presses a button and the food like droned down to the table.
They have. Have you seen those cafes in Japan?
Yeah, where they just
Where you
that's
just
what I
go
want.
into the room.
That's why
and then
in Korea, in South Korea, they have these ones where they have like cubicles. So you go into a cubicle.
Yeah, and then you order, and then you never have to see another person.
Oh,
Remember the restaurant we went to in St. Louis where they had the card system, where it was like, if I need a drink or I need some food or I want you to leave me the fuck alone, and you just
Yeah. I love it, dude. Did you notice when we went there? I immediately flipped that bitch to red. I was like,
Yeah.
no. You talk to everybody else. I tell you when you talk to me.
It was
That's
great.
how you get 100% tip.
That's just how Fogo de Chao works too. They're like, more meat or not more.
Yeah.
Although they come to my table even if like, your card's not turned. Did you forget to turn it? And I was like, no, I'm dying. I need a minute.
Right, I would have turned it around. That's what that would.
And then they're like,
the tip would go down to 6%.
and then they're like, but this meat's not the same as the one you had. It's like those T-shirts where they like, every acid wash T-shirt is a little bit unique, and no T-shirt's the same. That's like when the people at Fogo de Chao are like, but this has more pepper on it, and I'm like, okay, I want to see. I want
to see what that hit like.
and,
That's what it hit like, yeah.
and then the guy wouldn't carve it. He goes, you have to turn your card. And I go, but I'm telling you, I wanted it. He goes, he looks down at the thing and he goes,
he's got the spatula already.
You're laughing. He literally was standing there with the knife and the thing, and he just looked down at the card. He just kept going, like, gesturing at it. He goes, And I was like, you're really going to make me turn my card? And he goes, if your card is not turned, how do I know you would like some meat? And I was like, I told you. And he goes,
the green is consent.
He's, oh yeah, consent is key. And then I turned it, and he goes, sir, I see you would like some more meat. And I just thought it was that I didn't pay for that meal, so I don't know what that guy ended up getting tipped, but he was cracking my shit up the whole time. But yeah, I don't think if I'm out with my family and stuff, I like for people to be expedient. If we're out like it's us, I don't really care if the server wants to vibe or we know it, like at our spot, and people want to come up and talk to us and chill or whatever. But yeah, for the most part, the best server is either they are convicted about something on the menu and they're like, hey, I don't want to bother you. This is so good that I'm going to bother you a little bit because you need to eat it.
I literally fuck this meal every time I come in. I'm like, damn.
You're like, my dick is covered in Szechuan chicken. I'm telling you, bro, that at all times I'm walking around with a pound of Szechuan chicken up against my dick while I'm serving you other food. Nah, bro, you got to eat this. That's the only time that I want a recommendation if I don't ask for it.
Right.
If I ask for it, give me your honest opinion. Don't tell me what you're trying to sell. And I can tell somebody's like, oh, well, this is good and this is good. And I mean, I haven't had this yet, but I want somebody to be like, what do you recommend? I'd be like, fucking this. Banger right here. Get this. That's the way that people would tip me the most. They'd be like, I don't know what to get. And I'd be like, that. And they'd be like, well, and I said, no, you asked me, get this. And they're like, well, I'm like, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to tell me something different. You asked me what I recommend. I'm going to bring this out to you. And then you're going to drink it or you're going to eat it, and it's going to be fantastic. You're going to be like, I should have listened to you. And I'll be like, well, you did because you had it. And then that confidence really got more tips. But yeah, I would love when people just fucking, here's a menu, here's your food. And when they silently come and refill my drink.
The best.
Do not ask me if I want more
drink.
drink.
It's empty. Pour it.
It's not even,
Pour it.
I don't care if it's empty. If I've taken a drink out of it and there's volume still in my cup, just so you know, I'm paid for free refills.
Oh.
I'm here.
Thank you for reminding
So
me.
if you can, and it's not like a pay as you play drink or whatever, pay as you go, or if you see that there's space to refill my drink, walk by, refill my drink. Now, if you have to take my drink to refill it, no. But if you have to just walk by and pour something, yes.
That actually goes
100%.
into something I really wanted to talk about, and I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot until now.
Then he won't speak the
Then I won't
rest of the
speak
podcast.
the rest of the podcast. I got you. I am sticking to it. We need to normalize being okay with if you're at a sit-down restaurant. I want to get up and get my own drink. I don't want to wait. It's not going to affect your tip. If I want to drink right now and the shit's behind the counter, I want to be able to walk behind that counter and press the button for the drink myself. I do not have time. I hate, nothing's worse than a busy, like you got your food, you're enjoying, you drank a little bit too much of the drink before your food got there. And then that person's killing it over there, doing their damn thing, putting in all that effort, fucking giving handies under the table to get that tip, and I have to wait for my drink. I want that shit fucking overflowing. I should be able to get up, walk behind the counter, and they're like, hey, sir, no. Like, sir, but drink. I should be able to sit there, press the button, and open my gullet, and just have the barks spill into my mouth until I'm done, until I'm ready.
So I know that since COVID happened, we've lost the same number of people a day as like 1 million 9/11s. But the thing that bothers me the most about COVID-19 is that when I've gone out to eat, places that I can usually get my own drink, pour my drink for me. It has ruined my experience of going out to eat. And I hate that seems to be the new culture at places because A, they don't know how much ice I want. B, they don't know how much I want my drink filled. None of it. Yeah. So I completely agree is what I'm trying to say.
You completely agree with what you're trying to say, huh?
No, with what D-Mark's... I completely agree with what D-Mark's trying to say about wanting to get up and get my own drink.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody else to pour my own drink.
Yeah. And also,
if I want that drink when I want that drink. Also, Chipotle, please let me use the machine again. I'm really sick of your dumbass people pouring me by Mr. Pibb.
Please, no ice.
No ice. I don't want no Dookie water ice in my fucking soda.
I get it. It's 36 cents a squirt, and you guys are trying to to cut costs. I don't care. I will give you an extra $2.
They're already charging us $2.35 for a
nuts.
dollar worth of drink.
Nuts.
It's not even $1. It's like
Well,
all
I'm saying,
in.
if
It's
I was
cup, lid, everything. It's like 13 cents.
That's what
I'm more
saying.
sick
I
if you
don't
bought
care.
the bottle.
I do not care. I will give you an extra. If you asked me at the beginning and you said, "Look, I'm going to refill your drink, or for an extra $2, I will just bring over stab the bag and let you just suckle right off of it right now."
Are you saying that bagged drinks are the superior form?
No one's even saying that.
No,
Even
I'm
a little
saying
bit.
I'm willing to pay a premium
For a bagged drink?
Let me finish. I'm willing to pay a premium and take an L of drinking out of a bag in order to not have to wait for. Oh my god! I don't care if my food takes 2 hours. Honestly, I don't. It's fine. It's fine. I'll find something to do. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. But if my
But he's still out within 15 minutes.
I'm still eat it and then sprint the fuck out. But if my drink is not fucking overflowing,
Yeah.
Chelsea
I
will
hate
not.
it, bro.
She'll sit there. She won't say anything. Like, she'll need a refill, and if somebody doesn't refill her drink, she just sits there like, "What are you doing?" And she goes, "Can't eat without my drink." And I'm just like, "Well, why don't you ask them?" And she's like, "Have you seen them?" And I'm like, "Well, no, but I'm sure we could just stop somebody and be like, hey, do you mind calling our server
Yeah,
over
but
here?"
it's also like
No, I get
annoying.
it. I know it's annoying, but she will refuse to eat until her food gets cold, and then she will
Principle.
complain that her food got cold.
Yeah.
She's
Principle, I
like,
completely
"Well, now I
understand.
can't eat my food because it's cold." And it's like,
Yeah.
well,
She's done nothing wrong. Free her. No, that's exactly what. Yeah, I will.
No,
Free Chelsea.
I'm not telling her she's wrong. I just think it's hilarious how I'm agreeing again that drinks are important. They're the most important part of the meal.
Easily
I'm agreeing.
Easily.
I'm
How many
giving
drinks do you guys drink in a meal?
17.
You know what? I used to have like a streak where like, so I drink a lot too, right? Like whether it be water or soda, whatever. I could probably have like 3-4 cups, right? And then there was a streak of people like, oh, a lot of drinks. Eh? Like, shut the fuck up. I'm paying, right, motherfucker?
The worst mistake I ran into. I know I said that was the last thing. I'm so sorry.
Nah, you good?
I'm obviously a liar. It's fine. I was at Red Robin, bro.
Red Robin.
Yum. Hey, I was at Red Robin. And the wildest. I read it and I physically.
the unlimited fries thing.
No.
Oh.
I looked at the menu. Looked up again. So here's me. You can't see me because there's no camera. Or there's camera for us. For you on the listening on the Spotify, you can't. All right. So I look at the menu. I immediately called an optometrist and scheduled an appointment to get my eyes looked at because there was no fucking way. Unlimited root beer floats for $5, bro.
Yep.
You know how many of them shits I drank?
How many?
7.
I got
That's a lot.
to 4 before I thought I was gonna die.
I felt gross. I felt like there's too much ice cream and barks in my body.
You got it.
I will not back down.
They give you
Can't
that.
take it up. Yeah.
They give you that big old thick straw
Yeah,
too,
and
so
she
you can
got
just suck.
The chick, you
Yeah.
could tell the chick was irritated because I said, "Hey, can I get another one?" You haven't started drinking it yet, and I was like,
Don't
"Bitch,
worry about
did
me."
I-
Yeah.
Did I fucking ask,
Bitch.
You almost popped her right in her fucking teeth because I
Right.
said, "I want my time now."
Yeah. I'm paying.
Give me-
You said unlimited.
That's
I
when you
want
look up and you're
4.
like, "Hey, have you seen your menu?" And then they're like, "What?" And you're like, "No. Do you know your menu? Because I know that you know that I know that you're supposed to know your menu. So when I ask questions, and they're like, "What?" And you're like, "How long have you been working here?" And they're like, 3 years. And you're like, "Okay, so you know the menu." And they're like, "Yes, I know the menu." And you'd be like, "Okay, so how many root beer floats do I get for $5? What?
Over
How
under.
many?
Let's see.
How many root beer floats do I get for $5? Well, sir, it says Exactly. Bring me 2 more now,
Bro, I was about
sir.
like,
We can't. In policy, you have to finish it and be like,
Bullshit.
I'm like,
sweating.
where's
Some bullshit.
where's the
sweating.
asterisk? Like when it says consuming uncooked fish will give me like AIDS or whatever. if there's no asterisk that says I can't have my table lined with root beer floats to see if I can build myself a root beer float, then I don't
Oh, I like that.
I don't want it.
I was like, you could tell because she laughed at first. Like she brought it to me. I was like, oh yeah. It's like, could I put it?
just like that.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, I said,
Oh.
so can I put another order for another one? She's like, oh, I was like, oh, I don't know why you did that.
Yeah. I'm being dead ass.
Dead ass, bro. So I started drinking that bitch. She brought a second one out. I was like, could you get me another one started? She's like, you haven't even.
Don't worry about me, bitch.
It's like I can see her eyes.
It's like when you go,
her
can I just
pupils
get
dilated, started sweating. She
Red
looked-
Robin's wildin'
looked
though.
at the manager. The manager looked back and he was like doing the little cut him off. You know what I'm saying? And then I looked at him and I was like,
That's just it,
unlimited.
unlimited. It's like, bro, I have pisses me off too. You know, I have sometimes the unlimited pancakes. Do you know what their stipulation is?
You can only eat like 2 at a
No,
time.
you have to finish. You
No,
have
no,
to-
no.
No, you can only 2 at a time.
You can only
That's how they
get 2
you.
at a
That's
time,
how they get you.
and you have
because,
to ask for it
yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want 16 pancakes. I can eat them.
Right.
But if I don't eat them, it don't matter. Don't worry about me. I ordered it.
Right, because my favorite part is like, oh, you can't take 2 with you. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah,
I
don't
do
give a
love
fuck
that.
about
They're
at
like,
all.
we're not gonna box it up and like, what are you gonna do with it? Throw it in the trash. I go, wait. So you literally just said you're having a promotion that it's unlimited pancakes. I asked you for 35 pancakes. I ate 28 pancakes,
Mhm.
and you're telling me that you're not going to let me take the other. I'm not trying to feed
Yeah.
my entire family for the next month. You saw me make a real attempt at these 35 pancakes, and you're going to tell me I can't take the remaining 6.5 pancakes
Yeah.
home. And they're like, yeah. And you're like, Olive Garden always tells me that I can't take unlimited soup home, but then they give me 3 soups, and they're like, we're not Olive Garden.
No, bro, I love it. I respect it so much that they're like, hey, you can have unlimited, but I swear to
But
fucking
on
God,
terms.
if you try to take this bitch out of this restaurant, I will find you and I will feed you pancakes until you die.
So like that's
I
why
just
I
wanted
like
2 regular stacks. I'm like, why are you bringing me 2? Bitch, when I order pancakes, you gave me 3 at once.
Right.
Just give me 3 pancakes again.
I'm a simple
and
man.
again.
I don't ask for much.
Yeah.
I want bring me.
Oh, I
all
thought you
the
said
pancakes.
16 pancakes
No,
when
no.
you started.
No.
And I was like,
I just want another 3 stack.
no, you said 6. I
Yeah,
thought you
right,
said
right.
16.
Yeah.
I just
No,
garnered
I did
the-
say 16.
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
saying, like, at the time, I was like, can you just give me a 3 stack? She's like, no, you have to get them. And so I was like, okay, bitch. So I ordered 4 more rounds of pancakes, and I ate them because I'm fat and I can do it.
right.
And then, but I was like, the point that they want you to like feel embarrassed that you're asking for more. And it's like,
little
listen,
fatty
bitch.
baby.
Yeah, listen, bitch. If you just came out with the 2 stack like I asked for, we wouldn't have to be doing double work here. But since you want to be petty, this is the fucking thing we're gonna
I
do.
get
now.
it, bro. You got to work now.
Yeah,
That's why I like Sushi Club shit because they're like, it's unlimited sushi for $20. Here's
You
the
don't
rule.
finish. Yeah.
If you don't finish more than 2 pieces, you have to pay $150 per piece that's left on your plate. And
That's
you know
fair.
what? You know the risk going in. So then you're like, I'm getting kind of full, but it's unlimited. And then somebody stops you and is like, friend,
It's okay.
you gotta stop. And you're like, why do I have to stop? And you're like, because you literally pay $1.50 when you don't eat it. And then you just look around and you're like, they're not gonna actually do that. And then they bring your bill out and there's an extra
Yeah,
30
you
bucks.
better
And they're like,
fucking-
and unless your buddy gets unlimited sushi, they can't try none of your sushi. And you're like, but they don't want unlimited sushi. And they go, then they don't want your sushi.
Dude, those are the rules I like to play by.
But they give
Like,
you a
big
rule
risk,
book.
big risk, big reward. Like you
Yeah.
know, like hey, when you get here, like you said unlimited. Yeah, with You said unlimited. When I go to a buffet, they don't go, hey, you can only eat from nah. I eat all the weird red chicken on the stick.
I do love. Oh, but that stuff's so
It's the
fucking
best.
great though.
I
It's
get it.
weirdly sweet.
I get like 4 of them. I only eat one because I know I can just throw the rest away because it's theirs. It's their product.
America.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's an extra $9.99 for crab, and I'm just like, no, it's not. I'm just gonna go grab
I'm
some
gonna
crab,
eat it.
and they're gonna be like, did you eat any crab? And I'll be like, I'll be like,
Where are you eating? First off, I get,
it's the Fu Manchu fucking thing over here. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's the Chinese buffet right over here off Main Street. It's wild, bro, because they literally try to charge you for everything, but they can't prove that you ate it. So if they're like, it's $9.99 more for crab, and I'm like, cool. And they're like, we saw you eating crab, and I'm like, when? And they're just like, we saw you, and I'm like, no, I really don't think that
Like,
you
bitch,
saw.
that's slander.
I'd be like, not all white people look the
we
same.
call you
Okay,
Crabman Xavier for this very reason. You're like, oh no.
Tim, you got anything else for us before we wrap it up?
Jamie.
Jamie, have anything for us before we
Jamie.
wrap it up?
He looks like he's done with
Not
our ass
yet.
because we said it's been an hour 40, and
He
then
been
where are
done
we
for
at
an
now?
hour and a half.
2:30.
What do you think?
Hold on. If we wait another 20 minutes, we can beat Tenet.
What do you think? No, we're good. So, one last question for you. I want to know. Scenario.
Are you sucking dick?
You walk into the restaurant. You walk into the restaurant. Boom. You sit down. They hand you 2 root beer floats and 2 pancakes. Unlimited pancakes, unlimited root beer floats.
And garlic parmesan fries.
Garlic parmesan fries. But you can only get more if you eat this entire round. You can't you can't eat 1 pancake and drink 1 root beer float and eat some of the fries. You have to eat each iteration. If you drink the 2 floats, you can have another float. If you eat the 2 pancakes, you can have another pancake. If you eat the parmesan fries, then you can have more parmesan fries. How many waters?
Can your waitress spill on you before you leave?
The restaurant.
1.
Roll the outro.